This is a computer. You want it to do something for you, but asking politely won't work because it doesn't understand English or French or any other human language. I'm oversimplifying here, but the point is, computers are not smart. They are tools. They do exactly what we tell them to do. They need to be given precise instructions and they perform complex operations to understand those instructions. If you're a complete beginner, then for you it's likely as simple as hitting the run button, which magically makes the machine understand what you're doing. But if you want to make progress in your computer science journey, you have to know how code written by humans is translated into instructions that computers can understand. There are two things that go into programming: writing the code and translating the code into instructions that the computer can understand. Writing the code is straightforward. This is where you type up the program. All you need is a text editor. Something as basic as Notepad can do the job. However, it's recommended that you use a dedicated code editor since they can color code different parts of your program and autocomplete common functions and variables within your code. As for the language you write your code in, that depends on what you're trying to accomplish. For example, if you're going to be doing object-oriented programming, then you'll want to use Java. If you're going to be doing web development, then you'll need JavaScript. Most programming languages are either compiled or interpreted. Compiled languages, such as C, have a terminal command dedicated to translating what you wrote into instructions that the computer can understand and execute. During the compiling process, the code is inspected for any errors. If an error is found, it will stop the process and inform the user. In this example using C, I've purposefully added an error so the compilation stops and tells me where the problem is. If it compiles successfully, then it will create an executable file that can be run with this command. Interpreted languages, such as Python, don't have this extra process. When you run the code, it will execute line by line directly. If it encounters an error, it will stop at that line. For example, if you write 10 lines of code and you have an error on the 6th line, the previous 5 lines will execute and the 6th line will result in an error. The terminal or command prompt is where you give instructions to your computer. This is where languages like C have to be compiled before being run. It is good practice to know how to use the terminal since you can run debuggers from there and even use it as a way to give input to your program. At the end of the day, in order to make a program, you need a way to write it and a way for your computer to understand it. Text editors let you write it, while the terminal helps your computer understand the code. VS Code, in reality, is just an embellished text editor with a built-in terminal. The reason it's so popular is that it highlights mistakes, autocompletes common variables, and works with any language. In addition to that, as a programmer gets more skilled, they can install extensions that aid in their process of coding. That's what makes Visual Studio beneficial for any programmer, regardless of their level of experience. That's all for now, everyone. If you learned something from this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who you think will find it interesting. As always, feel free to leave feedback in the comments. Have a wonderful day, everybody.